Now get ready. Here we go.
Part 10.
What is going on, everybody? It is Arkham here, and today we are doing another 5-year plan prediction video, and this time we are going to be predicting the next 5 years for Dorney Park in Allentown, Pennsylvania. It is a rather small theme park that was once owned by Cedar Fair that is now under the brand new Six Flags Entertainment Corporation, and we are going to break down what I think the next 5 years could look like for Dorney Park and what my predictions are for their brand new investments, depending on what they get, that is, and what I think they could get in the next 5 years. Now, this one in particular was very difficult for me to make, not because of the amount of ideas, but, well, Dorney hasn't done much in the past 5 years. And usually, we would take whatever happened the past 5 years to reflect what Dorney Park's gonna end up getting over the next 5 years, from 2026 to 2030. However, the only big event that ended up happening in the past 5 years for Dorney Park was Iron Menace in 2024, and some water park expansion and refurbishment in 2025 to a whole tower, as well as the front entrance of the water park. So there really isn't too much new for the past 5 years. They've definitely been working with a lot of different companies in the area and trying to do like some charity events and all that, which is really, really great to see that there are people in the area, and Dorney is super supportive of those in the area of the park. So it's very cool to see that that is kind of the direction that they're going in. But it does make things very interesting to try to predict what I think Dorney Park could do over the next 5 years. And this is what I think that Dorney will do in that time frame. If you guys like this kind of stuff, leave a like, comment, subscribe, and always thank your ride operators. Let's talk about the next 5 years and what I think Dorney Park could do from 2026 to 2030. Let's go. After getting a major roller coaster in 2024, and then getting a water park expansion / refurbishment in 2025, I think 2026 is going to be an off year for the park. Now, unfortunately, off years for the park are typically something that happens quite a lot with these smaller parks, and I think for Dorney, it's going to be no different here in 2026. One of the most notable proofs of this is the fact that earlier on, after Kingda Ka's closure, a statement was released by the park saying what other theme parks are going to be getting in 2026 from a coaster or thrilling ride standpoint, and Dorney was not on that list, which means that Dorney might not get anything in 2026. However, I do think it'll get a little bit of some love from a different point of view. One of the biggest things that holds Dorney Park back is its operating schedule. Dorney Park usually opens up in May and then closes at the end of their Halloween event, which isn't typically a great idea. They have expressed during the winter chillout that they want to extend their calendar longer, go into and maybe have a holiday event, and maybe open a month earlier than what they usually do. And I think 2026 is honestly going to be the season where they try this out. They'll try out this by just not even opening up a new ride and kind of just going in with some extra improvements for the park to benefit more and allow that this sort of thing can in fact happen. I think an extended calendar is just a great way to get a new foot in the door and just bring more customers back. And having the park open for an extra set amount of time is something that not only they've wanted to do, but also other parks in the area have been constantly doing. Thus, making Dorney Park one of those parks that have been falling behind, most likely on a monetary standpoint. So why not extend their calendar a little bit longer? Open the park in April and close the park in December or maybe even New Year's week or something like that. That would already make Dorney Park a way better park in terms of operation and attendance, and would already exceed knowing that it has a brand new holiday event to support it as well. And with that going in, 2027, we'll definitely see something new. In 2027, I see the perfect opportunity for the park to add a brand new flat ride. Why not extend the already amazing steel yard by adding a brand new flat ride to this area to draw more people to it. And the ride that makes the most sense to add to the steel yard here has to be a Zampero Nebulous. I think one of these flat rides, it could go right next to the rightmost spike of Possessed, right next to the Immelman of Iron Menace, straight ahead as you walk into the area. I mean, you're looking at what could be a perfect placement for a flat ride. And I think there's a lot of room to do so there as well. Why not add another flat ride to an already amazing area of the park to draw more people towards that side? I think it's a great idea. And Zampero Nebulous, I've always felt like fit really well in this, like, in these kind of like industrial areas of parks, and I think that it's a great fit for a new flat ride to add to Dorney Park. Great for the families, great with thrill seekers. It really is a one of a kind. It's a spectacle. It's really cool to watch and see this kind of attraction move and function. I think for Dorney Park, getting one of these flat rides is automatically a huge win in my books. In 2028, I think that Dorney Park is going to be expanding their water park once again. I think that the northern part of the water park, there's a bunch of empty space back there that really just is like open grass and easy expansion room for something new. I think that they could add a brand new water coaster. Will Dorney probably advertise this as a brand new roller coaster in and of itself? Yeah, most likely. But you know what? It's a brand new water slide that I think would really fit well in Dorney Park's water slide lineup. A water coaster is a great fit for any water park out there. They are very fun rides, they are very fun water slides, and they get you an equal amount of wet. So I think a water coaster in the back portion of the water park would serve as a great fit for Dorney Park, and something that I would definitely look into. It could easily be the most thrilling slide at that park, without a doubt in my mind. Obviously, it wouldn't be as thrilling as the roller coasters, but I think a water coaster would certainly add a new flair to the already rather stacked water slide lineup at Wild Water Kingdom. In 2029, I think that this is going to be another off year for the park. However, I don't think it's going to be one of those off years where they do absolutely nothing. I do think that they're going to be preparing for a very big project for 2030. So 2029 is going to be a preparation year for 2030. And I think in 2030 they will eventually be adding a brand new roller coaster. We'll talk about that when we get to it. But 2029, they are going to be preparing the Dinosaurs Alive plot of land for a big new roller coaster. It's about time. The Dinosaurs Alive plot of land has been a prime topic of discussion ever since Dinosaurs Alive's removal, and as well as Stinger's removal, which eventually would be replaced by Iron Menace. But Dinosaurs Alive has kind of gone under the radar. We don't really know exactly what that whole area is going to be up to now. So now it just feels like it's just been nothing but now overgrowing trees, but it is still a part of Dorney's property, which means it definitely could be used for something. And that's exactly what 2030 is going to be for, so let's talk about 2030. In 2030, I think Dorney Park is going to be getting a brand new roller coaster. But the question remains, what roller coaster would fit best at Dorney Park? Well, to narrow down some of the stuff, let's kind of talk about the different coasters they have. They have a hyper coaster in Steel Force. They have a couple of solid inverting roller coasters in each of the B&Ms respectively, Iron Menace, Talon, and Hydra. They have a launch coaster in Possessed, they have a wooden coaster in Thunderhawk, and they also have two solid kiddie coasters. They have a Wild Mouse, and they have a kiddie coaster located in Planet Snoopy. So, what would be a great idea for a brand new roller coaster to add to Dorney Park? So, there's a couple of options that I believe would fit really well in Dorney's lineup. One of the other things that I think Dorney Park could really add to their coaster lineup is another family roller coaster. But they need a family roller coaster that is able to really entice the thrilling riders at that. And one of the most interesting concepts that I think we have recently seen over the past couple of years that also entices some younger riders has come from Vekoma. Vekoma has really stepped up their game as of late. We've seen Vekoma family boomerangs, we've seen Vekoma multi-launch coasters like Big Bear Mountain come out to play, and we've even seen some thrilling Vekoma coasters such as Flash Vertical Velocity opening at Six Flags Great Adventure. All of those rides have one thing in common. They are smash hit people eaters. People will go to those rides. They will wait 40 years if they have to just to get on it. Why? Because they're butter smooth and they are fantastic rides. And they would be foolish not to go with Vekoma. Now, I don't think that they would add a super boomerang to the park, primarily because Flash Vertical Velocity is an hour and a half away. So, what would be the next ideal guest to go for Dorney Park? Now, if my judgment is to be said, and Hershey Park does in fact get a Vekoma family coaster in 2026, I don't think Dorney Park is going to go down that rabbit hole. However, I think that they could acquire another Vekoma coaster that still pertains to those about 48 inches and can still be a great ride and a good introductory roller coaster for those kids that might be a little afraid of roller coasters. I'm specifically looking at a Vekoma Top Gun / Vekoma Wildcat coaster to get put into the Dinosaurs Alive plot of land. I think that this ride makes the most amount of sense for a few reasons. Number one, even though its specialty wouldn't fully involve inversions, it could have inversions, but the main thing about this ride that really stands out is the versatility of elements. It could have airtime, it could have hang time, it could have all weightlessness, it could have some really unique elements, it could have a station fly through. There's so many different things that a Vekoma Wildcat and a Vekoma Top Gun can all do and just have a very low to the ground layout. These rides don't even have to be very tall at all. They can even be a launch coaster variant like the Top Gun is, or a Wildcat, which is a lift hill. It doesn't really matter, but I think that a ride like this doesn't look intimidating, and rides very fun. Vekoma has really been stepping up their game lately, and I think Dorney would want to cash in on Vekoma when they can. Any of these sort of Vekoma roller coasters I think are a fantastic fit to go in the former Dinosaurs Alive plot of land. They can really use as much space as they need to, and it would just add more capacity crowds to go into the back by Steel Force. And what makes this even better, they don't even have to remove or expand to let this ride happen. There's really some great prime real estate here to go off of for Dorney Park, and I think 2030 they can easily capitalize on Vekoma really at the peak of its main surge right now. And that, my friends, is my 5-year plan prediction for Dorney Park and Wildwater Kingdom in Allentown, Pennsylvania. It's a very small theme park nonetheless, but I think a lot of these predictions that I was able to make sort of make sense with the past 5 years while also being a little bit bold and throwing a random idea out there to see if maybe I shoot and make the basket. I don't know, but let me know what you think Dorney should add in the next 5 years now that it's under the brand new Six Flags Entertainment Corporation, which is certainly going to make things very interesting for this park. Maybe it'll get a little more attention, maybe it will just get trash cans every 5 years. We don't know, but let me know what your thoughts are, and what do you think Dorney Park could look into in the next 5 years? Leave a like, comment, subscribe, and always thank your ride operators. Have an amazing rest of your day, and I'll see you all in the park really soon. Goodbye.
Here we go.
Park